Marty.
Item or new LP price
Hi.
is likely.
Hey, Marty. Tux, not your food. Leave Morris alone. You're terrorizing him. Come on. See Stripe. Now, last night he was asleep in the garage on top of the cat tree. I think he figures if Tux comes in and goes to sleep in his bed down below, he won't even know he's up high. And I would say there's definitely that chance. Eat your breakfast. Don's fixing to go get his paper. It's nice out here. It's almost 40.
Yeah, 45.
Sunny.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, well, hopefully it'll stay this way long enough for us to do our walk.
Yes, I'm thinking early.
Oh, we can do that.
Well, because of Dr. Ekberg.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'd like to not go at 4 today. That's
That'll
the only reason. 12 is good. 4 gets to be late. I wondered if you were still in there snoozing. Good morning, sweetheart. Watch out, Tux is right behind my feet. Let me help you. Oh, but I love you, buddy. I know. Yeah, Donnie's coming back. I'm sure he's about up the hill. You gonna jump back down or you gonna eat? Yay! Ah, it really does look gorgeous today. I think we're supposed to have clouds and rain for the next 5, so we'd better enjoy it today. Open up those eyes, get some sun, feel the warmth. Only rain coming though, no snow. We've got about, well, it's possible to have snowflakes up until about the second week in March. I mean, I think we've technically seen a snowflake in April before, but any appreciable, sizable amounts of snow, we've got February, and then that's it. We're not going to get any this year, and right now, this upcoming week, the first week of February, not having snow. We're having plenty of rain again in the forecast, but no snow. I'd like a 6 to 8 inch storm, a couple of snow days. I wouldn't complain as long as we don't have super cold temps like we did, you know, that storm earlier in the year. Don said we got our electric bill and it's the highest one we've ever had. It's up around $300. I'll let him talk to you about it later. I've still got, you know, I can put that piece of cardboard down real quick because this will go a long way to keeping the front porch dry. If Panther wants to go down in the snow for a minute, he can, but then when he comes up and gets on his heating pad, he'd be good. So, you know, as long as the weather doesn't affect the cats, I'm good with the snow day. I like snow. I might get out the radio flyer and take a quick whirl around the yard if we ever got that much. The boys have snowed. Before we took the culvert out where the bridge is, when the boys were little, they would get up here with the sleds and they would they would sled right across. Down, probably get as far as where the far log is. Then after we put up the bridge, you'd have to kind of force, you know, you'd have to fall off. It kind of messed up the sledding on the hill. Now, we did go down the cement before because sometimes that gets really icy. But it's kind of, if you know how to steer the flexible flyer, you're good. But when the kids were little, they weren't so great at it. And there's a chance of going off into the creek on either side, and that's a pretty good drop. So that wasn't such a great idea. There's also, you know, coming down the other way. But now there's the log there. If we can get to South Park, there's places at South Park. Over at Action Park, the other side of town is better. You're such a good boy. We basically, I got done feeding the cats and we're going for a walk. It gives us the option of dialing into Dr. Baker before Dr. Ekberg. We've basically got this Sunday and next Sunday, and Dr. Ekberg's blood work course will be over. So,
yeah, but today's supposed to be the big day for Dr. Ekberg.
Cholesterol.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really need to pay attention today, for sure. all about all those particles, all those tests they don't run before they tell you you should be on a statin, which I refuse to consider. Yeah, if I had to say, I just saw the land that they were working with out to the back, left back there, and I'd say they're making a little bit more room to turn the trucks around, a little bit more flat area out there. That's my guess. We're just gonna walk here. It's 10:30 and 10:30-ish, yeah, 10:45. It takes us a little over like an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes door to door, so that'll get us back before, you know, around noon. It gives us choices. Yeah, I would go so far as to say it's enjoyable out here this morning. I don't need to be, I mean, I got on a long sleeve t-shirt and a lightweight jacket, but I don't need to bundle. I don't have on my knit hat. Don's not got his gloves on. He's not bundled with a big coat. It's just pleasant.
Yep.
Don's gonna throw their ball back over the fence. This little girl and her dad are practicing, and she is working on shortstop stuff, and she can't be more than 10, and she's good. She's really good. That's great they're out here this morning. She'll remember her whole life coming out here to do that kind of stuff with her dad. My dad took me and threw ball with me all the time, and we dabbled with tennis a few times, and we certainly did ping pong before we moved to North Carolina, because we had the table set up in the basement. And yeah, those things, a parent coming out, hanging with you, playing, that sticks with you. We tried to do that with the kids when they were younger, but you know, baseball wasn't their thing, basketball wasn't their thing. I had more fun at baseball practice than they did, getting out there and throwing, either with them or me and Don would just throw some. I found a Lego part, and it's got some dirt on it, but it's actually not tore up. It's not rare or anything. I've got this part at the house, a ball joint, some little kid with a train or cars or something that are connected to each other would be what you would use that for. Bionicle, maybe. Don was gonna do his hit on Friday, but then we didn't walk Friday, so.
That's right, so I gotta do it today for sure.
Well, with it raining later in the week, it might be too slippery, not a good idea. Not as pretty weather. Lots of reasons to get her done today.
Amen.
That and that cup of coffee waiting on you back at the house you didn't have time to drink.
Yeah, alrighty. Thank you. I'll see you back at the house. Kiss, kiss.
Kiss, kiss. I had another runner come behind me, and he had his podcast radio, something going on. Don really is trying on the 3 separate hills to go as fast as he can during those 3 stretches. Really get his heart rate up. It's been in the 160s. So that's, you know, that's good. There's a formula that you do, you subtract your age. Don's birthday is next Sunday, the 5th. He used to be on the Super Bowl sometimes, but now they've added a week to the schedule. It's not on the Super Bowl. I'm set on gifts, what I want to give him, so that's good. I'm thinking about to carb or not to carb on his birthday, and I don't mean the cake or whatever. We're just going to have we've decided we'll have ice cream. We've kind of laid off it here the last few weeks, but we'll have ice cream. And I guess the question is prime rib, ham, and make split pea soup that week, which means carbs, or maybe chili. Thinking maybe chili and half the beans I would normally put in it to reduce the carb count, even though they're natural carbs. I have to give it some thought, talk it over with them. I can do any of it. We have 1 ham in the freezer that has a small amount of solution in it, a small amount of carbs, and then I think we have another uncured ham that doesn't have carbs. So, and we could always just have the ham and not make the split pea, but I think the thing with the split pea and the chili is I make it, we eat it, and then we freeze it. and use that as a meal another day instead of having it 2 or 3 days in a row with the extra carbs. Because it really has an effect on me and Dawn. We start gaining weight right away, a pound or two, and well, notice our fasting blood sugar in the morning will be up 10 points. I mean, it's not without us. We notice, we know. So we can choose to do it or not do it, but it's not free. I do have Dawn's weight vest on. Mine and his. I'm doing fine though. But I carried 20 pounds up the hill today. It's kind of like a mini hit for me, although obviously if I can still talk and film a video, my heart rate's not that high. I'm sure it was, look at my wrist. Oh, I've got a Pokemon message so I can't see my, go away Pokemon message. I can't hit the button because I'm carrying the camera. Anyway, it typically gets up to 146 coming up the hill, and I think that's whether I have the weights or not. The weights aren't adding to it that much. It's gorgeous out here, it really is. Well, at least now I can sit inside for our Zooms we want to participate in and not be looking out the window longing to see that, because I had a chance to be out here in it. What a regret it would be to go 5 days of rain and clouds and have missed out on being out in the pretty weather today. Morris, you being a good boy? How come you're over here? I saw him go after a squirrel and miss a day or two ago. I didn't know he cared about squirrels. With him, it was probably maybe more for fun. With Stripe, it's not for fun. Hey, buddy. What you see? The hawk just went that way. I never figured out where the nest was last year. And if I don't figure it out before things start to leaf out, because they'll lay their eggs end of January, first week in February, so they should be sprucing up the nest right now. They start early. And, you know, there's a lot better chance to see the nest and figure it out before things leaf out. And so far, I'm not seeing a nest. To get Dawn to walk in the woods with me one afternoon. Because it's somewhere between here and the environmental park. Clearly, they're in the yard all the time. We have frogs, and this type of hawk really likes frogs for their young, so they like to be near the water. Deciduous tree, oh, I see him. He's on the branch back there. They would not nest in a pine tree, though. Actually, that's not the hawk. They would not nest in a pine tree. It's got to be deciduous. I'll keep an eye out. Dr. Ekberg certainly gave us our full money's worth today, 2.5 hours. And he was still answering a few questions, but I got off. Dawn and I agreed. I'm going to go make the bacon and prep the cheese stuffed chicken breast for dinner. I just wanted to show you Morris and Striper having them a little nap over here. So sweet. And Marty and Tux are up here in the tall chairs.
I should have probably taken a video before I made the modification. But I'll put that piece of aluminum, and I used stainless steel staples to do it, to fix the box. Some squirrel had did a number on it. You can see how big they had ate the hole, and they ate the cup. We had put a nice new brand new cup in there, so I'm risking it again, putting another new cup in there. And hopefully they won't be able to do much here. The hole's a little bigger than it needs to be, but I'm gonna go that it's probably gonna be all right. We'll see.
And the little girl is chewing the end off of Dawn's box with the cables that he needs to finish going through at some point. It's no big deal. He's got plenty of cardboard boxes. She's the cardboard chewer. She never tears up anything else, but if you leave a cardboard box around, she's going to go after it every single time. Bon's been a good boy. He went out to do a few things after we got off with Dr. Ekberg. 2.5 hours worth of Dr. Ekberg's. All good stuff, though.
Yep.
No complaints.
No complaints.
And anyway, I've got bacon.
Yep.
Yeah, fresh bacon. And a piece of broccoli, egg, cheese, sausage casserole in the toaster oven.
Yeah.
And I'm prepping the chicken and making the kitty chicken. And
Oh boy.
yeah.
You know what time it is now?
Pile up time.
Football time. That's right.
Good. I'm punting on trying to work on my building today because I can't find a part and I need parts that are coming tomorrow. And I'm going to build the heart and be happy and not think about the missing part anymore, which was super frustrating. It was a fun, fast build, and they give you options for customizing it and extra flower pieces. I recommend. It was cool.